Given that this is an industrial product, you get me out of the studio and into the job site. If you're not familiar, this was just announced. This is Ubiquiti's brand new beast of a console, the UCG Industrial. It's got your Wi-Fi antennas on top. It's got two different power options here on the left-hand side. You have a 10 gig SFP and a 10 gig NIC, the 10 gig NIC being PoE+++, as well as the rest of the ports here on the back being 2.5 gig, and the fourth one also being PoE+++. And the reason for that is something that we're going to test in a little while, is whether or not we can power a Starlink dish with the power coming directly off of here using the Starlink advanced, I forget what they call it, it's their advanced power that you can, it comes with the high efficiency, but you can buy it and use it with the standard dish, but it doesn't work with the mini. So I have all three of those. I'm gonna bring them out and we're going to try them. The sun is setting here, so I'm gonna try and do this relatively quickly. But this is perfect timing because this site here behind me is about to be transformed into a community center. And what is going to happen is obviously lots of construction. And so therefore we need an industrial solution to be able to run both network and cameras so that we can both keep an eye on what's going on, access it remotely, and provide Wi-Fi for those who are here working on the job to be able to look up plans, look on their tablets, look on their laptops, etc. The engineers, the contractors, and so on. Everybody uses internet these days. Everything is all, in the cloud, and 5G is great and all, but it's much better if it's a Wi-Fi local network. We also already have installed here a bunch of doors set up with access control, so we're going to be able to turn some of those on, all using this because, yes, this runs the entire suite. It runs network, protect, access, you name it, all the Ubiquiti apps all run on this. And it also has one thing I forgot to mention here is 2 SIM slots and 1 micro SD card slot. This micro SD card slot that mine came with, I think they all do as well, is a 128 gig purple micro SSD, and that's going to be for your camera recordings. Now, at the time of recording, these are going to be remote SIM slots. It's not currently active, but I do have a SIM in my 5G Max Outdoor, whatever it's called, 5G Outdoor, the new 5G modem with the SIM card in it that we're going to be able to use in order to give this internet, and then we're going to be able to, in the future, just plug a different SIM in here and be able to swap out the SIM that is on the antenna without having to actually go up and touch the antenna in order to swap the SIM out. Now, the reason why you want it to be industrial is for a number of reasons. One, lots of dust, okay? You also want it fanless, so it's able to cool itself and not bring in all of that dust and particulates and junk that's in here. Another area where this could be really helpful is my clients over at the Beer Lab. They have already killed several switches because they're located in the kitchen area, and that kitchen area has flour. Flour has teeny tiny particulates. Those get into the switches and they just degrade and just eventually die over time. So I'm glad to see the rest of the industrial lineup that Ubiquiti has announced this morning. I don't have hands-on with everything. All I have is this so far, but I'm glad to see that this is another direction that they're going to diversify and give us more options. One thing that I teased here in the beginning that you may have seen is that on the sides here, these are rails, and these come off quite nicely. They're really solid, and there is a desk-mounted option as well as holes here. Let me see how well you can see that. Holes here in the handles. And flip it over here. Holes here in the handles for just mounting it on the wall. And that's what I'm going to do today, is just put a couple of screws in here, mount it directly onto our backboard, which is already in place, and we're going to boot this thing up and see what it does. Let's go inside because it's pretty cold out here. Okay, welcome to what will be the security room. Right now it is, as you can see, a mess. Those are gonna be bathrooms, I think, on the other side of that wall. A rack is most likely going to end up going over here. This is gonna be a long-term project, so this won't be the last time you see this location from me. I thankfully have full access to be able to go and test all kinds of things out, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We've already done some work. Let me turn this around over here. We've already done some work. As you can see, those cables and that camera up there, because we had a government grant to set things up. All right, here's our current setup. That's not great. That's a 5G cellular modem that doesn't even work anymore. And then I've got, I think, a NVR Pro in there, which is probably getting destroyed, and a switch in there that is hopefully not getting destroyed, but it's not great. This is gonna be our wall here where I'm just going to plug that right in just like that, and then you'll have your different ports down here on the bottom. And then if I want to take this off and relocate it without moving the screws, I can actually just screw that right out from there. So if I need to move it for whatever reason, I'm able to do that, swap it out, etc. You'll notice a couple of other things over here. This is already set up for access. So this is wired to the door. Like I said, we got a security grant, so a couple of things are in place here that we already did previously, but then we're waiting for, the rest of fundraising and things happening with community centers and so on and so forth. A couple of other things I want to show you is the power brick. It is massive. Look at this next to my face. You may be accustomed to some of these from Ubiquiti. It is quite large, and it does come with a mounting plate, so we're going to be able to mount that on the wall directly next to the router itself. And then we also have, in the box are your mounting applicators, etc. Screws. I don't actually know what these are. Oh, those are tips for the antennas if you don't want to use those. And it comes in nice color matched black extended antennas if you want to pop these on and have some extended range on top. You just unscrew one, there goes that, and you can swap that out with the other. Okay, solid. And I think I am going to do that because I do want the extended range. All right, now this looks a little bit more menacing with the longer antennas on there. I love it. Now, because I want it to be out of the way, I am going to put it a little higher up, and that way I have easy access and can see the items underneath. There's an easier way to do this. Stop being an idiot. Pro tip that I just thought of, start with one handle, because that's going to be a lot easier to handle. Sorry. Okay, that's not going anywhere. All right, got my cable run. Let's see now if we plug it in to the internet. Now let's see if we can power it just off the 5G Max Outdoor. All right, now I took the liberty of setting this up at my studio because I wanted to be sure that plugging it into the 5G antenna, since there is no internet here, would work out of the box. And I don't remember if it's able to pick that up before it's adopted. I don't think so. I think it needs to be adopted and then it needs to be activated on T-Mobile service. The SIM card is hot, but I think that's maybe Ubiquiti changed it. I'll put a footnote if that's the case, but now I'm connected to the Wi-Fi on here that I mentioned I set up before, and I should be able to access it directly. So now I can access it. All right, great success. It is showing as online. And do a speed test over here, pulling in on 5G speeds. Let's see what we're getting. 245 over 30. That is respectable. I'm going to save that. Next, I'm going to take the switch that's here, reset it, and adopt it to here so that I can connect to the existing infrastructure, and then also bring over the NVR Pro. All right, factory resetting. I just love the way that ether lighting looks. Now, while that switch is resetting, there's a couple of features I want to go over that I didn't exactly mention before. These antennas on top, yes, it is Wi-Fi, but it is Wi-Fi 7. No, it is not 6 gigahertz, but hey, you're on a construction site. I'm using 5G. I honestly don't need full 6 gigahertz. Even honestly, Wi-Fi 7 without the 6 gigahertz is going to be fast enough for what we're doing out here, especially because most of these are going to be in like production facilities and out in the boonies and whatnot where, you know, you may not have that necessarily highest possible capabilities. That being said, there are two 10 gig NICs, one SFP, one Ethernet that are on here, so you are able to build a full 10 gig network as with this at its core if you should want to do so. Each of these two PoE+++ ports are capable of delivering up to 90 watts. The 10 gig PoE port is +++, as is the 2.5 gig NIC directly next to it. The other two are PoE+. Now, I'm not going to be able to test the Starlink dishes here, unfortunately, because I did run out of time trying to run the cables and get this all set up here. It is now dark, and I have to go home and put my kids to bed and do the whole, you know, dad thing. So I will do a follow-up video specifically testing that, which of the Starlink dishes it works with, and how that operates, whether you can use it as your primary or your secondary, and how all that fits in, because I do think that is going to be a very important use case for an industrial unit like this, whether you're up in the mountains like I mentioned before, or you're on top of a building or construction or, you know, camping or wherever you may be. With this at its core, I think this is going to be a phenomenal device, and I think that this is probably going to be one of my new favorites to deploy because, first of all, it's fanless, it's rugged, it's got all of the things built in, it's got Wi-Fi, it's got storage, it's not waterproof, but throw it in a waterproof box and you're pretty much golden. So I'm a big fan of this thing, similar to how I've been a big fan of the UCG Fiber and the UCG Max previously. This, I think, is an excellent addition to the lineup. Let's check in on our switch here and see if it is ready to be adopted. Yes, it is. So I'm going to adopt this. All right, there you have it. We have the UCG Industrial, the U5G Max Outdoor, a USW Pro Max 24 PoE over here next to me on the floor, and 8 cameras currently up and running. I am going to head back to the studio now and migrate the cameras over from the UNAS Pro that's running those cameras over to the Industrial to see if it can handle it. Hopefully it can, because otherwise I'm going to have to be back here later putting those cameras back and resetting them. So wish me luck. All right, finishing up late night here in the studio. As you can see on the screen, I have adopted all of the cameras over onto the Cloud Gateway Industrial. Previously they were running on an NVR Pro, but I wanted to do a little bit of a stress test and see how we are doing. So you can see right now I've got 7 cameras. Whoops, I've got 7 cameras over here adopted on the UCG Industrial. they are all 2K cameras. And if you hover over this, you can see that you have one more to go, that we could get up to 8 2K cameras. So that seems to be the upper end of the limit. I don't have the official specs, but this seems to be where the sweet spot is. Now, remember, if you are installing 4K cameras, then you are going to be able to have less of them, probably 4 or 5 instead of 7 of the 2Ks. If you're doing HDs, which is 1080, then you can likely get more of them. If you're mix and match, then it's gonna depend. If you want to do 5K, which is at the much higher end, then you'll probably only be able to get maybe 2, maybe 3 out of that. But even looking at this here, this is in auto. Let's go to high quality here and give that a second to get that frame rate up and the resolution up. But I mean, all of these cameras, they look good here at night. You can see it's a nice, dark, stormy, rainy night here in Southern California, and you can see all the cars driving by on these cameras here. All these cameras are G5 turret ultras because that's what they had at the time. There was no G6 when I installed these. So here we are. But you can see it's sharp, it's processing well, it's running live, and this is over cellular. So if we go back over to the network side, you can see, well, packet loss, that was when I was messing around with it earlier today, but we've used about just almost 10 gig in today, and some of that was earlier while I was on the wired connection and doing updates and things like that, just testing it out, etc. That's funny. The most common device it thinks is a Windows XP Windows XP Professional, but it's my iPhone. That's interesting. Okay. Maybe report that one to Ubiquiti as a goof. But overall, this thing looks good. As I said earlier in the video, I am very happy with this device, and I think it's going to become an excellent addition to the lineup, as well as the rest of the industrial hardware that they announced as well. When I do get that in, I'll definitely be doing a review on all of those as well. The Cloud Gateway Industrial costs $579 and is available today. If you do make a purchase, I'd appreciate it if you used my affiliate link in order to make that purchase, which helps support the channel. Doing this takes many, many hours of work and research and shoots and reshoots and retakes and testing. And why did I forget to reset that device before I put it up on the pole and climb up on the pole and reset it and come back down again, and so on and so forth? It's a lot of work. So if you want to show your appreciation, I'd appreciate it if you used my affiliate link. Please drop your questions and comments down below. This thing is up. It's in production. It's on the site. So I'm going to keep on using it. And if I can answer your questions, I will do my best. As always, thanks for watching.